All right, Bright English fam, buckle up, because this is the full uncut director cut deep dive, the 4,500 word masterclass on how to move a conversation from LinkedIn to Instagram without being creepy, without being cringe, and without getting blocked faster than a meme coin after Elon tweets in America. If you have ever had a fire conversation on LinkedIn and then killed the whole vibe by jumping to Instagram like you just got way too comfortable, way too fast, this video is your complete rescue plan, and we are going all the way in. The hook that should make you stop scrolling right now. More than 70% of professionals in the United States say they have ignored, muted, or straight up blocked someone who tried to move from LinkedIn to Instagram in a weird way. 70%. That means 7 out of 10 times you thought you were being smooth and friendly. The other person thought you were being straight up creepy. And listen, it is not because Instagram is a bad move. It is because the way you moved was bad. You went from office energy to backyard barbecue energy with zero bridge, zero context, zero respect for the transition. In America, that is a massive red flag, and it is the fastest way to lose a good connection. So today for Bright English, we are breaking down the smooth way, the respectful way, the American approved way to go from LinkedIn to Instagram and actually make your network stronger, not weirder. And we are doing it with real American slang, real culture, real examples that work from California to New York, from Texas to Florida to Seattle. Why this move feels so awkward in the United States in the first place? Let us set the scene properly. LinkedIn is the office. You are dressed up. You are talking about work, about growth, about projects, about goals, about career wins. Instagram is the backyard barbecue after work. You are in a t-shirt. You are talking about dogs, tacos, hikes, memes, your messy kitchen, your morning coffee, your road trip to Arizona. Both places are still you, but the context is totally different. In the United States, people are super friendly, but they also love boundaries more than almost anything. Boundaries are everything here. If you respect the boundary, you look confident and socially smart and emotionally intelligent. If you ignore the boundary, you look thirsty and you look like you do not read the room. And in America, not reading the room is a career killer. I learned this the hard way when I was building Bright English. I would meet someone super cool on LinkedIn, maybe a content strategist in Los Angeles, maybe a startup founder in Austin, maybe a teacher in New York who loves language, maybe a marketer in Chicago who is obsessed with storytelling. And after like 2 messages, I would say, hey, I am way more active on Instagram. What is your handle? And then boom, silence, ghosted, gone. Like my portfolio after I bought crypto at the absolute top in 2021. Like my will to live after I watched my stocks dip 40% in 1 week. My messages went straight to the void, and I had no idea why. So I started watching how Americans who are actually good at networking do it. How people in Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, Miami move between platforms without making it weird. And the pattern is super clear. Creepy movers move fast. They demand. They make it about personal stuff too soon. They give no reason. They take. Smooth movers move slow. They offer. They keep it about shared interests. They give the other person full control. They give. The 7 big mistakes that make you look creepy and how to fix them forever. Mistake number 1, you switch personalities. On LinkedIn, you are like, good morning, thank you so much for connecting. I appreciate your insight, great post. On Instagram, you are like, yo, what up, fam? You look good. That switch makes you look fake. Americans have a super strong radar for fake energy. Be the same human on both platforms. Same warmth, same curiosity, same humor. Just a little more casual on Instagram. Think of it like taking off your blazer, but keeping the same shirt underneath. Same you, just less formal. Mistake number 2, you move way too fast. This is the number 1 killer in America. You had 1 accepted connection and 1 thank you message, and now you want to see their vacation photos, their dog, their brunch. In American dating culture, that is like asking to meet the parents after 1 coffee date. Way too much, way too soon. You need at least 3 to 5 real back and forth exchanges where both people are putting in effort, where both people are asking questions, where both people are actually interested. If they reply with 1-word answers like cool, nice, thanks, you do not have permission to move yet. You need real conversation first. Wait, build a little thread, build a little trust. Mistake number 3, you trash LinkedIn to get to Instagram. You say things like LinkedIn is so boring, let us move to Instagram where it is actually fun. LinkedIn is so dead, that is insulting. You met on LinkedIn. Do not disrespect the place where you met. That is like telling someone your first date was boring, but the second might be better. In America, that is considered rude and it makes you look ungrateful. Instead, keep LinkedIn respected and frame Instagram as an extra, not a replacement. Say I love the conversation here on LinkedIn, and I also share more casual behind-the-scenes stuff on Instagram if you are into that. Mistake number 4, you ask in public. You comment under a LinkedIn post like, what is your Instagram? Drop your handle. That puts the other person on the spot in front of everyone. That is public pressure, and Americans hate public pressure more than almost anything. Always keep the Instagram ask in direct messages. Private, low-key, no audience, nonsense, no pressure, no weirdness. Mistake number 5, you switch intent. You start talking about work, about marketing, about English learning, about content creation, about startups, and then on Instagram, you start commenting on looks, on personal life, on stories that have nothing to do with the original conversation. That bait and switch feels dishonest. In America, honesty is huge. If you started professional, stay professional for a long while on Instagram too. Let any personal friendship develop naturally over time, not overnight. Mistake number 6, you give no reason. You just say, can I have your Instagram? Why should they give it? Why? Give them a why that benefits them, not just you. For example, I post daily breakdowns of how Americans actually talk in coffee shops, gyms, airports, stuff that is too casual for LinkedIn. Thought you might like it since you are into real U.S. English. Or I saw you love hiking in Utah. I post a lot of trail guides from California and Colorado on my Instagram. Or I share a lot of free templates for American-style resumes on my Instagram stories. Now, it is not about you wanting something. It is about you offering something useful. Mistake number 7. You demand instead of offering. Creepy people say, give me your Instagram. Smooth people say, here's mine if you ever want to connect there too. When you drop yours first, you give power to the other person. In American culture, giving power is attractive. Taking power is creepy. So you say, mine is English.bright. You will see me breaking down how people in Los Angeles actually talk versus what textbooks say. Feel free to follow if that sounds interesting. Totally cool if you prefer to keep it here too. That last line is pure gold in the United States. Totally cool if you prefer to keep it here. Signals, I respect your choice. I respect your boundaries. I am not desperate. The perfect analogy that will make this stick in your brain forever. Think of LinkedIn as the office coffee machine and Instagram as the happy hour after work. At the coffee machine, you see someone, you chat about work, you find a little common ground. Maybe you both hate long Monday meetings. Maybe you both love cold brew from that little spot in Brooklyn. Maybe you both are trying to learn better English for business. You chat a few times over a few days. Then one day you say, hey, a few of us are grabbing a casual drink after work on Friday. You're welcome to join if you want. No pressure at all. That is smooth. That is natural. That is American networking at its best. What is not smooth is walking up to someone at the coffee machine for the very first time ever and saying, hey, let us go to a bar right now and talk about your personal life, your family, your weekend. That is intense. That is weird. That is exactly how a lot of people move from LinkedIn to Instagram and then wonder why they got left on red. So remember this for the rest of your life. Coffee machine to happy hour, not coffee machine to kidnapping. Slow, natural, optional. That is the mantra. The exact word-for-word flow that works in the United States without being creepy. I am going to give you scripts that you can make your own. Do not sound like a robot. Make it sound like you. Make it sound human. Make it sound like a real person from the United States who gets culture. Script 1 for a general connection. By the way, I post a lot of super casual American English stuff on Instagram, like how people in the U.S. actually say things in coffee shops or at the gym, stuff I cannot really post on LinkedIn. If you ever want to connect there too, mine is English.bright. Totally cool to keep chatting here as well, though. See what we did there. We gave a reason, we gave our handle first, we gave an out, no pressure, no cringe, no demand. Script 2, for someone who loves travel. I saw you mentioned you just got back from Arizona. I just posted a bunch of Arizona desert photo dumps and how Americans describe those landscapes in real life on my Instagram. If you want to check it out, it is English.bright, but happy to keep it here on LinkedIn too, if you prefer. Script 3, for someone in business or content. I share a lot of behind the scenes of building Bright English. As a small channel trying to grow in the U.S. market, a lot of that raw stuff is on my Instagram stories, not on LinkedIn. If you are into that kind of behind the scenes journey, feel free to follow along. Mine is English.bright. No worries at all if LinkedIn is easier for you. Script 4, for someone who loves books or learning. I have been posting my favorite American business books and how Americans actually talk about them in meetings. I put those mini reviews on Instagram because LinkedIn feels too formal for my messy notes. Mine is English.bright if you ever want to take a look. Totally fine to stay here though. Script 5, for someone who loves fitness. I saw you post about your morning runs. I post a lot of how Americans talk at the gym, like real phrases trainers use in Los Angeles. I put that on Instagram. Mine is English.bright. Feel free to check it out if that is your vibe. No pressure at all to move platforms, though. All of these work because they are giving, not taking. They offer value. They offer choice. They keep respect. They keep the same topic that started on LinkedIn. What to do after they follow or do not follow. This is crucial. If they follow you, do not become a weirdo. Do not like 20 old photos in 1 minute. In America, that is called deep liking, and it is considered creepy and desperate. Like one recent post that relates to your original conversation, leave a thoughtful comment that connects back to what you talked about on LinkedIn, and continue the conversation in Instagram direct messages with the same topic you had before. Keep it consistent. If they do not follow you, do not ever bring it up again. Do not ask why. Do not get salty. Do not send a follow-up like, did you see my Instagram? Stay cool on LinkedIn. Keep being helpful. Keep being professional. Keep adding value. Maybe later they will follow on their own when they see more of your content. In the United States, patience reads as confidence. Desperation reads as a red flag. Remember that. And please, for the love of everything, do not send a screenshot of your Instagram QR code on LinkedIn with no context. That is like handing someone your house key before they even know your last name. Do not do it. The difference between professional and personal intent and why it matters so much in America. This is super important, and most people miss it completely. If the connection started professional and you suddenly turn it flirty on Instagram, you will get blocked. Period. Keep it professional for a long time. If there is ever a mutual personal vibe, let it develop super slowly, and only if they clearly open that door first. Americans keep work and personal life separate for a reason. A lot of people in the U.S. keep LinkedIn strictly for work and Instagram for close friends and family. That is normal. That is healthy. Respect that. Do not try to force your way into the close friend circle when you just met at the office coffee machine. If you want to be funny with your audience, not with a stranger you just met. That is where those Wall Street and crypto jokes come in. Use them as content, not as pickup lines to strangers. Now, the fun part, crypto and stock market flirting jokes that actually work in the U.S. without being creepy when used correctly. Americans love self-aware humor. They love jokes that make fun of yourself, not jokes that put pressure on someone else. So if you are making content for Bright English, you can use these lines as jokes, as captions, as funny reels. You can say, are you the stock market? Because you have got my full attention and I'm trying not to panic. That is funny because it makes you the nervous one, not them. You can say, are you crypto? Because I promised myself I would not invest again, but here I am checking you every hour. That is funny because it is relatable. Everyone in America has that one crypto story where they said they were done and then they were back. You can say you must be a blue chip stock because you're high value and everyone is sleeping on you. That is a compliment without being weird or physical. You can say, I am not saying I'm in love, but I am definitely holding long term. That is smooth, funny, self-aware, and it uses investing language that Americans hear every day on the news. You can say, are you a market rally? Because you just made my whole week. You can say, I was going to play it cool, but then you showed up like a surprise earnings report. You can say, are you dividends? Because you just keep giving. You can say, I told my friends I was going to stay single, like I told them I was going to stay out of crypto, and look at me now. Use those as jokes in your videos, in your captions, in your stories. In America, humor that is light, self-deprecating, and clever wins every single time. Thirsty lines lose every single time. So always punch at yourself, not at them. And do not use lines like you are like Bitcoin, you keep going up in my mind. That is terrible. That will get you blocked faster than a bad NFT project in 2022. How to make your Instagram worth following from LinkedIn? This is the part most people forget. If you invite someone from LinkedIn to Instagram, your Instagram better be worth visiting. If your Instagram is empty or private with zero posts or only random selfies with no context or only reposts with no original thought, people will think, why did you invite me here? There's nothing here. For Bright English, that means your Instagram should have clear value. Post short reels of real American slang, like how people in California say no worries versus no problem, or how people in New York say mad as in mad cool. Post carousels of how to sound natural in U.S. work chats, like how to say let us circle back without sounding like a robot. Post stories of you trying American snacks and reacting honestly. Post behind the scenes of you building a channel, the messy parts, the funny mistakes, the small wins, the late nights. Make it human, make it useful, make it fun. Then when someone from LinkedIn lands there, they think, oh, this is actually cool, I want to stay, this person is real. In the United States, people follow value, not requests. Give value, and the follow comes naturally. Ask for a follow with no value. And you look desperate, and you look like you are just collecting numbers. The cultural layer for an international audience that wants to understand America. If you are watching this from outside the United States, you might think Americans are too sensitive about this, but here's the deal. In the U.S., professional boundaries are taken seriously because work and personal life are often separate by choice. In some countries, it is totally normal to become best friends with your coworker in 2 days to share everything immediately. In America, it is normal to be friendly for months before you hang out outside work. So if you are trying to network with Americans, you need to play by the American rhythm. Slower at first, deeper later. That is the American way. That slower rhythm actually builds stronger long-term relationships. Americans who become your Instagram friends after a real LinkedIn connection are more likely to support you, share your stuff, collaborate with you, invite you to things because the trust was earned learned step by step, not forced. Timing and frequency, the hidden details that matter so much. In America, timing matters a lot. Do not send the Instagram invite at 11 at night. That feels personal and a little intense and a little too late night. Send it during normal work hours, like you would send a normal LinkedIn message, like 10 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon. And do not send multiple messages about it. One soft mention is enough. If they are interested, they will act. If they are not, more messages will make it worse and will make you look pushy. Also, do not invite everyone. If you invite every single LinkedIn connection to Instagram, you will look like you are just collecting followers, like you are running a numbers game. Be selective. Invite people where there is real common ground, real shared interest, real conversation. Quality over quantity always wins in the US market. One real connection who actually watches your stories is worth more than 100 random follows who never engage. A real world example that shows smooth versus creepy. Imagine you connected with Maya, who works in marketing in San Diego. You chatted about a campaign she posted on LinkedIn. You exchanged 3 messages. You both talked about how hard it is to write good ad copy that sounds human. She mentioned she loves hiking Torrey Pines and taking photos of the sunset. Smooth version. You say, Maya, love your point about ad copy that sounds human. So true. I struggle with that too for bright English. By the way, I post a lot of behind the scenes of how we write natural American English scripts on Instagram, plus a lot of California trail photos. Saw you love Torrey Pines. I was just there last month and got some insane sunset shots. Mine is English.bright if you ever want to connect there too. Totally cool to keep it here on LinkedIn though, whatever is easier for you. That is smooth, that is respectful, that gives value, gives choice, gives a reason, and keeps the same topic. That is how Americans do it, and that is how you stay not creepy. Now imagine the creepy version. Hey Maya, what is your Instagram? You are cute, let us chat there, you seem fun. That is instant block. Do not be that person ever. The mindset shift that changes everything. Stop thinking about moving from LinkedIn to Instagram as getting something. Start thinking about it as offering more room for a good connection to grow. You are not collecting handles. You are offering an extra place where the same conversation can continue in a more casual way if they want. When you think like that, your energy changes. You stop sounding needy and you start sounding generous. And generosity is super attractive in American culture. People want to be around generous people, not needy people. Your 10-point non-creepy checklist that you can screenshot in your mind. 1, have at least 3 to 5 real exchanges on LinkedIn before you even think about Instagram. 2, find a natural bridge topic that already lives on Instagram, like hiking, books, coffee, dogs, travel, fitness. 3, give a clear and useful reason why Instagram might be interesting for them, not just for you. 4, drop your handle first instead of asking for theirs. 5, give them a clear and comfortable out, like totally cool to keep it here on LinkedIn too. 6, if they follow, keep it cool. Do not spam like their old photos. Do not deep like. 7, if they do not follow, never mention it again. Stay cool and professional on LinkedIn. 8, keep the topic consistent at first. Do not switch from professional to personal overnight. 9, make your Instagram actually worth following with real value, real posts, real personality. 10, stay patient, stay human, stay respectful, and let them control the pace. Do those 10 things and you will never be the creepy LinkedIn to Instagram person. You will be the smooth, respectful, memorable person that people actually want to connect with on both platforms. And that is how you grow in the United States. What to do if someone does the creepy move to you? If someone jumps from LinkedIn to Instagram in a weird way, you do not have to be rude. You can just keep the conversation on LinkedIn. You can say, thanks, I prefer to keep work chat here on LinkedIn for now. That is a complete sentence. You do not owe anyone your Instagram. In the US, it is totally normal to have boundaries between platforms. A lot of Americans keep LinkedIn strictly for work and Instagram for close friends and family. Respect that and expect others to respect it too. And if someone does not respect it, it is okay to mute or block. That is also normal in America. Why? This skill helps your English and your career in the US more than you think. When you learn how to move between platforms smoothly, you're also learning real American communication. You are learning how to give options, how to be indirect but clear, how to use soft language like no pressure, totally cool, feel free if you ever want to, whatever works for you. Those phrases are super American. They show emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence is what gets you hired, promoted, invited to bigger rooms, and trusted faster in the United States. So this is not just about Instagram. This is about sounding natural, sounding respectful, sounding like someone who gets US culture. And that is exactly what we teach on Bright English. Final wrap and your turn to talk. Let us start a debate that will blow up the comments. comments. The internet in America right now is full of people trying to grow fast by being loud, by being pushy, by sliding into every DM possible. But the people who actually win long term are the ones who grow by being respectful, by being patient, by being real. Moving from LinkedIn to Instagram is not about getting more followers. It is about giving a good connection more room to grow. It is about going from coffee machine to happy hour in a way that makes both people feel safe and respected. So here's the question I want you to answer in the comments, and let us see who wins this debate, because this always starts a fight in the U.S., and I love it. Do you think it is smart and normal to move a work conversation from LinkedIn to Instagram when there is a natural shared interest? Or do you think LinkedIn should stay LinkedIn and Instagram should stay personal, and the two should never mix under any circumstances? Are you team move it to Instagram if the vibe is right, or team keep work on LinkedIn only? Drop your opinion. Tell us your best or worst story of someone making that move. No names, just a story. And let us learn from each other, and let us see which side has better stories. And if you got value from this super long breakdown, smash that subscribe button for Bright English. Turn on the bell, because we are here every week breaking down real American English, real American culture, real networking that actually works in the United States, plus a lot more jokes about stocks and crypto, and how Americans flirt without being weird. And what is coming next is going to be even more practical for your life, your career, and your English in the U.S. Thanks for hanging out. Go be smooth, not creepy. Go give value, not pressure. And I will see you on the next one, and maybe on Instagram too, if you want. No pressure at all.